Welcome back to another episode of the S by Podcast, guys. Newfoundland's #1 podcast. I'm your host, Robert Greeley, and if you're watching on YouTube and wondering why I'm recording on a phone, it's because, like always, we're on the road again, more or less. So yes, I'm still in my apartment, but I didn't get the intro done on a nice little fancy camera. But it's a good thing that this is a podcast, so audio. Anyways, we got a long enough chat with a great group of guys from Grand Falls-Windsor. Grand Falls-Windsor, gotta make sure I say that. Add in the Windsor part. Don't worry, Cody, I got you. So we're just gonna get right into that. Enjoy. Boys, welcome to the Yes by Podcast. Should I just set the tone and say that Claremont a better town than Grand Falls-Windsor, or what?
Just instantly had to hop in. Grills, do you want us to get off now and go play Xbox?
No, you know what? I'll keep you. But do I have to refer to it as Grand Falls-Windsor the whole time, or can I say Grand Falls?
Yes, please. Mine and Jordan's parents are both from Windsor, so please refer to it as Grand Falls-Windsor.
All right, let's do a little introduction. Let's run through who we got in the call here.
I'll go first. Okay, go first, Mikey.
All right, my name is Michael Hughes. 25. I'm a teacher. Nothing really interesting about me.
Yeah. Grills, is this my third time doing something with you, or fourth?
You
Fourth.
did the Play On podcast. We did the Jigs Dinner and the Grills Reels podcast.
And then
we're gonna do an episode of the Sports Shed too, I guess. And
I feel like we're missing something.
Maybe. I mean, we've done a bunch
anyway. Cody Drover, met Grills through University of Ottawa, and we've been great buddies ever since. And I love chatting with him.
Tyler.
Tyler Marsh. Also been friends with Greeley for quite some time now, probably like 10, 12 years, but that might have ended tonight with the quick Claremont better than Grand Falls comment. So we'll see how it goes. We still got a long ways to go, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for now.
Okay. Bennett?
I'm Jordan Bennett, and that's Grand Falls-Windsor to you, Tyler. I met Grills a few years ago, mutually through Cody. And I think the first time we met formally was this summer when we were at Terra Nova. So happy to be here.
Berto?
Thanks for having me, Grills. Kyle Aliverdi. I'm in COVID country, United States. It's a miracle I'm still alive. And first time I met you, Greeley, was I met you briefly in Ottawa, but I got to know you through Cody a lot this summer, and it's been great.
Yeah, Droz is definitely the magnet of this call here this evening, so we'll see how that goes.
Just a magnet all over the place.
Don't even say things like that. Like, his ego is just.
Yeah, you just cannot give Cody Drover a compliment like that. That just can't happen.
By the way, just a quick note before introductions are over. Jordan Bennett, he didn't complete his introduction, but he is 26 years old, for those wondering. 26, soon to be 27.
I thought he was 56.
Yeah, that's crazy though. I do feel like 50, but Cody, yeah, you got to ease off those comments. You know, his ego's going to swell up. It's a good thing we told him to flip his camera over to horizontal because it wouldn't fit into the picture.
And why am I on my phone instead of a laptop, Jordan? Because all my stuff's in Ottawa. All my stuff is in Ottawa because of a global pandemic, and I'm sorry. Like, what do you want me to do?
You look crystal clear to me. You look great.
Oh man, yeah. Hey, Droz, if it wasn't for me, you'd still have a cat up in Ottawa too, probably.
Yeah, that was actually probably the most clutch thing that's happened this year, by far.
Well, that was last year, 2020, wasn't it?
Well,
yeah.
Gross. Coronavirus is one big year, so
okay.
It's the most clutch thing that happened to me during the pandemic.
True. Yeah, that was man, I remember calling the airline. They asked me the breed of the cat, and I was just like, I Googled cats and I started looking.
The perfect cat?
I Googled cat and I just started scrolling and I looked for a photo that kind of looked like yours and I rhymed it off as the breed. And then I was trying to stall with them on the phone as long as I possibly could. Then your mom finally got back to me with the actual breed. I was totally off. And then I just said, oh, wait, never mind. It's this one.
And I wouldn't be able to tell you what breed Pippa is.
They brought me into the security office, taking her through. She tried to, as soon as the door was open, she tried to take off, like try to shit.
Yeah. Uh, I'm not just saying this to make you seem like a bigger hero than you already are, but going through security with Pippa is one of the most stressful things I've ever done. And you had to do it twice. So thank you.
All right, how'd you guys all meet? Where's that story? Let's go right back. Who met who first, and how this group form?
Well, me and Jordan are cousins. So we're only a year apart. So we grew up together since we were babies. And me and Jordan lived literally maybe 15 houses apart. And who lived?
We were pretty early on as well. Like I think me and you,
Yeah.
depending on when it started or when we were born, like we did preschool at either 3 or 4, like before kindergarten.
Yeah.
That's pretty early.
And yeah, I met Jordan first, and then I honestly can't remember if I met Tyler or Kyle first, because Kyle lived just up the road from me, Bennett, and a bunch of us who lived on that street. And we used to always hang out and play road hockey. And then through grade school, we met the great Mike, probably the greatest addition to my friend group of all time. But yeah, we basically, if you live in Grand Falls-Windsor, you know everyone anyway. So, but we all grew up together, played baseball together, hockey together. We basically played every sport together, hung out every day together.
The only reason Cody became my friend is he needed some idiot to throw a net to shoot on, and I'm still a goalie.
Yeah, I've got a couple stories about Cody when we first became friends that I don't think you'd want me to share on the old podcast right now.
No.
But yeah, no, we
please,
especially Tyler and I, we kind of met really young, just at grade school and stuff, and playing sports. And I mean, he lived. I think we timed it because we're freaks like that. And we love numbers. Yeah, we used to time how quickly we could sprint from my house to his house, like when we call each other to hang out. And I think we had it down to like 28 seconds or something like that. So, I mean, it goes way back.
Is that a 40-yard dash time or what?
For Greals,
is it Tyler's 40-yard dash or Mike's 40-yard dash?
Ooh, a little bit of shade. Mike was fast.
Hey, back in my day.
I just want to go on record and say this because like Mike kind of played like every sport and stuff, but like, and you were good at most everything you did. But the one thing that was very surprising is Mike was actually like a pretty like integral part. We had a 4x100 meter team. So like, I don't know if you were you second, ran first or second? I can't remember, but I think we finished second or third in the province, and Mike was actually part of that 4x100 team. The guy is sneaky fast. The guy's got sneaky speed. I don't know about now, but the guy could dart.
Yeah, I think I've lost a little bit of that speed as the time has gone on.
Tyler could have ran in the Olympics. It's actually Banana Lands.
Tyler, you living up to that comment or what?
Sorry, I'm trying to take it in. Head swelling a little bit, so I'm just muting myself so I can let a little bit of air out of my head.
The one thing I will say to that though is let's never forget that 200-meter provincial final when took a little stumble there right before the finish line, trying to leg it out there at the end. But you know,
did he lose?
Can I defend myself for a second? Just a quick rebuttal. So we were running this final, and so there were 6 guys in the final. There was 3 heats, 2 qualify from each heat, and yeah, I absolutely ate shit about. I was in second. I wanted to be first so bad, and so I was just running faster than my legs could process. And about 10 meters before the finish line, I just ate shit. Hit my chin off the turf, and I got passed by 3 guys. And this is the best part of the story. And my favorite part of the story is I didn't finish last, even though I took a tumble. I finished 5th out of 6, and shout out 6th place. Zach Sullivan actually finished behind me after I took.
Oh my god! I can't believe you're gonna do Zach like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell him it like that. So it's all right. I'll let him know that I threw a little bit of shade.
All right, who was the weird one growing up?
Kyle, 100% Kyle.
Kyle.
It's not.
It's 100% Kyle.
Yeah.
As far as goalies go, I'm pretty good, but
I will give you that. For a goalie, I've met some weird goalies. You're about a B+. Bennett's a low-key like A- goalie. He's a pretty normal goalie.
Yeah, well, I mean, with Kyle, let's circle back to that. Let's not deflect for a second. Growing up, this guy was the absolute weirdest. Like, one thing I remember vividly is him not referring to me or Cody as like Jordan B or Jordan Bennett or Cody Drover or Jordan or Bennett or whatever. It would always be like Jordan B or Cody D. And we were like, okay, like who is this guy? And he would always like walk around the block because we grew up in such a small proximity to one another. And then we found out, okay, this guy is like, because I think we were in Atom hockey, and then he might have been a novice. And he's okay, this guy's a goalie, so we need somebody to shoot on. So we walked up to his house, up the road. Hey, buddy, like, want to come out and play road hockey with us? Sure. And we were shooting pucks at his head ever since.
Yeah, because Bennett wouldn't get in net. He knew how unfair the
No, Bennett used to hate getting a net for road hockey.
In fairness, Bennett is actually a pretty decent like player. Like, you know, when
he is
like play player. Like, and Vardo's not bad either. Like, Vardo this year.
Vardo's a defensive.
By the way, very important to note, Greels this year. So we've been doing
nice Tyler. Nice Tyler.
Huge segue of the day so far from me. We do our big shot luck every year, which is basically we get all the guys from our hometown, and it's after getting bigger. Right now at the range is from 1994, and the youngest guys are, I guess, the year 2000. And so this year, usually we just randomize the drafts the night before in Hughes' shed. But this year for our big hockey game, we decided to go like old guys versus the young guys. And like, it is the ultimate David and Goliath story. Like, I cannot stress enough how much better these guys were than us at just hockey, overall physique. Definitely a big factor.
Cardio was
everything you name it.
We were laughing.
Not hungover.
So much cardio.
No, but we ended up pulling it out, and that's definitely a story for another day because it's a long one. But you're actually talking to 5 champions right now of Shot Luck 2020. Very important, prestigious award.
And keep in mind too, I don't play hockey, so I was a liability every time I was on the ice. It was like skating around a pylon. I was just out there for fun, right? So it's good to be part of that winning group, though. Hughes, it's all about the heart. It's all about the heart.
Hughes, you did have one goal though. You did have one goal. He did score on his own net.
I did score on Bennett, our goalie, by with a filthy tip in front, just right off my skate, off the post and in. But you know.
Yeah, from my point of view, there was a shot, and Hughes is just standing up, and I thought he was going to soak it, and it hit off his skate. It was an unbelievable tip, just right through me. And he turned around with the biggest smirk on his face too. Just like, that's what I just did to you.
we also going back to calling Kyle, just all of us just burying Kyle and calling him super weird. He's also weirdly smart too. Like he street smarts. Oh my god, the kid would like, oh my god, growing up with a guy and like being with him, like, just what stands out to me is how many times he's missed his flights. Like, he just can't figure out how to make a flight, and then like he gets in school and he's going to be a doctor. Like, someone explain that to me.
It's a miracle he made it to this Zoom call. Absolute miracle. Like, you're talking about a guy that'll probably go on to be a surgeon and can't tie shoes.
Just like back to work, so you know where I get it from.
Well, before the Zoom call, we were saying, like, what are the odds? Even though we told him that Kyle, who's in Vermont right now, is going to tune in at 9:15 Vermont time and not his local time. So it's an absolute miracle that he showed up.
Yeah.
Back to what Cody said, like, for somebody just like with common sense, I mean, it's better, but growing up, it wasn't there, but for just retaining knowledge, just unbelievably smart.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? To have 5 champions on the call, I just want to say, hey, thanks, boys, for all making the time out of your busy schedule to fit it in, you know?
Hey, I'm skipping it on bedtime for this, so thank you, girls.
Funny enough, flight stories. So I flew with a buddy to Vancouver who basically, like, his dad was a diplomat, so he had like a diplomatic passport, which basically just means he skips the lines, but more or less, he took that as like, I can show up kind of whenever I want. So we're there. We're like last call boarding, and I'm just like texting him, and like, we're supposed to go together, and like, we're going as a part of a, like, just the two of us going early with like the group following us in a week. And essentially the president of that club was just like, whatever you guys do, do not miss your flight. I will kill you both if any of you guys, that plane takes off and you're not sitting there. I'll kill you both, like, if you're not there. So like 5 minutes before I'm texting him, I was just like, dude, like, you got to get here. And he's like, just got to security, hold on. Like, and even though he gets to skip the line, like, it's still gonna take a process. And I'm like, dude, like, you gotta hurry up. Like, and this is like last call, and they're like calling his name now, and he's just telling me, he's like, dude, just like go up and tell him to hold on a second. And I'm like, how do you think that's gonna work? Who do you think I am, just to go up and be like, hey, yeah, listen, I need you guys to wait like 5 more minutes. And then funny enough too, we weren't sat together for like the 5-hour, 6-hour flight to Vancouver. So as we're like sat, because we went Ottawa, Toronto, which was an hour. So then when we got to Toronto, like I was sat there, and then he went up to the desk of the lady and just told this story about how I was like very scared of flying, and like I would basically cry the whole way if I wasn't sat next to him. And they switched his ticket, and he come back, switched my ticket to be sat next to him. He come back with my new ticket, and I was like, how'd you do that? He was just like, oh, I just went up to him and I told him that you'd cry if you weren't sat next to me for the whole route. So
Were you flying with Kyle Alivardi? It sounds just like him.
no, Andre, that was Andre. So Andre, if you're listening, hey man, miss you, buddy. You still owe me a toothbrush too.
I could barely focus on that story because, like, I'm telling you, Greeley is some kind of like international man of mystery. Like how casually he dropped at the beginning of that story. He started the story with, so I got
Diplomat.
This diplomat, and he said it like it was nothing. Like,
Yeah.
Greeley is a photographer, videographer, got a podcast, got a show. Like, if by 2022 this guy doesn't have like a clothing line and like a cookbook, I will be shocked.
It might be the premier soon.
He just does everything.
Well, I mean, to get a diplomatic passport, it's kind of funny because from my understanding of it, who knows, this guy could have been feeding me BS, but essentially if you have like a parent in politics or anything like that, like you just get one, and it's like a no questions asked. So like it could be anywhere from this dude's a son or like a relative of like this very important person, or he's legitimately like the president.
He's a knight.
Country, yeah. So
that's sick.
But I mean, hey, the world takes you to strange places. I will say that, yeah.
Hey, Kyle's a dual citizen.
Really?
What was that, Marsh?
What year was that?
I that trip was 2018, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
I think
I don't know who you guys had to deal with, but in 2019, it's not actually the craziest flight excuse I've heard, because Michael Hughes wanted to stay an extra day with the boys for a Toronto trip, and I don't want to paraphrase. So Mike, what was it you told the flight attendant or the airline?
Yeah, so one thing about me is I suffer from severe FOMO. I hate missing things. So we were in Toronto, and I was taken off a day early just because I had to get back for work and whatnot. And it was MLS final day, so we were at Jack Astor's, and I mean, Toronto was booming because Toronto FC was in the finals of the MLS Cup, and you know, beers were going down great, and I had to go leave for the airport, and I was driving in my Uber to the airport, and I was like, man, I've got to get out of this. Like, I got to go back and go back to Jack Astor's. So I go to the customer service desk at Air Canada, and I'm like, all right, what can I say to these guys to get them to change my flight? So this is what I come up with. I go up and I say, I'm on a business trip. I'm going to Newfoundland. My wife just texted me. She's in labor. We're having our first kid. She really wants me to be there. Like, is there any way I can change my flight to like the first thing tomorrow morning? Like, I want to be there for the birth of my first child. Like, is there anything you can do for me? So they started typing in the computer, and they're like, oh yeah, we can get you on a flight first thing tomorrow morning at 7:00. I was like, really? They're like, absolutely. The only thing is it's a $900 service fee. And I was like, well, sucks to suck for my wife, I guess. I'll keep my ticket.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But you know, anything to hang out with the boys, right?
Yeah, that's ludicrous.
How's the wife and the baby doing now, Mike?
Haven't spoke to him since, so wouldn't be able to tell you.
My last flight before COVID just kind of more or less shut down a lot of it because beforehand I'd say drove, even you could probably attest to it, maybe Bardo, like you end up probably flying like 6 to 8 times a year when you go to university away.
Yeah, easy. Especially when you have to get 25 connection flights back to Gander, Newfoundland, and Labrador.
Yeah. So my last ever flight, it was St. John's to Ottawa because I drove back, and the guy in the back, it was a 6 a.m. flight. Tell me why this guy had a Bluetooth speaker and was playing his SoundCloud for everybody in the back of the plane.
Was he good though?
No, not even. He was trying to plug it too.
I mean, if he was plugging his music and it was good, I mean, you can't hate on it.
You can't knock the hustle like that. Like he's just trying to get some exposure.
I'm not knocking the hustle, but maybe you just give me a business card and be like, hey, check this out later in the evening when I'm not absolutely tired and just don't want to be here.
Grills was just mad because he was on the same flight blasting his podcast on the Bluetooth speaker. This guy's music was playing over the podcast.
Well, yeah, exactly, man. Like the guy was stepping on the territory.
Yeah, Greeley, jealousy isn't a good look on you, buddy.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's all you can do. Who was the biggest shit disturber growing up?
Cody.
It's not even close.
Cody, not even close.
Yeah, Cody Drover. It literally is the easiest question I've ever been asked in my
He
life.
lives for chaos. Like he loves it.
Yeah, I started smiling right away because I knew they were going to say that. But it's just always been something I enjoy doing.
Yeah,
just disturbing shit.
I'm not surprised with that answer just from seeing how you interact with the guys in the locker room.
Yeah. Well, like it's just with this group of friends in particular, it's too easy. Like you can get at any time of day, I can get anyone in this group stirred up. Tyler is a little bit more tough. Hughes is a little bit tougher. Kyle's a little bit tougher too. Bennett, any time of the day, I can have his mind in an absolute pretzel at any minute.
Right now,
yeah, I was just about to say he has the rattle face on right now. Bennett has the rattle face on right now.
Yeah, I do. I don't know. Like the thing is, I'm going to think about this for like the next 48 hours. Think of a comeback and I'll text it to him. For the next 48 hours, I'll think of something just stirring.
Yeah.
Like 48 hours later, I'll text him a comeback, and then they'll have me rattled again. It's like last.
Boom. I just disturb shit just like that. Like snapping my fingers, I'm disturbing shit. It's
2
too
weekends
easy.
McGregor was fighting Dustin Poirier, and I just recently moved, and Cody was like, "Yeah, I'll come over and check out your new apartment." I was like, "For sure." So I found an unreal stream. It was HD. It was crystal clear. It was perfect. But the thing about, I just moved. I have a 32-inch TV in my living room. Okay. I don't know if you've ever watched a sporting event in the current year 2021 on a 32-inch TV, but it's brutal. But I thought it was great. It was great. But Cody, the first thing he said, like he walks in, I have it on, we give a hug, we put the beer away. And he's like, "Oh, are we watching the fight on your computer monitor?" And that just was in my head all night.
We were down to the bigs 10 minutes later.
It got to the point, well, there was two fights. There was like the co-main events were coming on. And all night I was just getting razzed for my 32-inch TV. And I was like, you know what, guys, let's call Boston Pizza or something, or the Bigs or wherever. So I give them a call. I'm like, hey, like, can we get, a table for 2 or 3? And they're like, yeah, no problem. Just come on down. Just let you know, we're coming up on last call. This is like 1 a.m. Like there's 2 fights left. And both the fights only went like 5 minutes. So there's only like 20 minutes of fights. But they had me in the biggest mental pretzel of all time, to the point where I just submitted and I was like, all right, I'm paying for a cab to get out of my home right now. And I'm still not over it.
Obviously.
Look at Cody, look at that grin on his face.
Yeah, I couldn't be happier right now.
Unfortunately, the podcast comes out on Friday, so I can't wait for your reply. So we're going to have to roll through droves living rent-free in your head for the evening.
It's been 2 weeks and I don't have one yet.
Hey, what's the biggest, like, okay, so Droz is the biggest shit disturber. What's each person's individual story where Droz took that shit disturber to a whole new level and you're like, I want to punch this kid in the face right now?
Well, I know what Tyler is. Tyler is the most organized, listy person of all time, best memory. And that's something that just always sticks in my mind, how many lists this guy makes.
Drover,
And he needs this.
Drover, you absolutely just butchered that question, buddy.
Why? What was the question?
Grills wants to know what was all of our peak Drover shit disturbing moments that just put us over the top. Clean your
How
ears
was that? Wait, say that again, Grills. There's just no chance that was the question. I
I
thought you
hope
meant
I'm
like.
right.
I thought you meant like.
If not, I'm leaving the Zoom call.
Well, one. I'm on this call, but I have the hockey game on in the background. And Washington scored as Greeley was actually asking that question. So there's my defense in case I'm wrong. But I thought he meant like, what is everyone's best quality? That's what I thought.
That is so
So I'm wrong, Greeley.
Not setting up our hinge
So
profiles.
Fuck me. Oops. F me.
All right. Well, if you want a good one to kick it off, I got one because I heard the
All
question.
right, let's hear it, Fredo.
Yeah, let's go, Verdo.
Me and Cody growing up were really competitive with each other. I always wanted one up Cody. I'm goalie, he's shooter. So 2 years ago, I got fallen on in the gym here at school, and I had nerve damage. So I still have bad shoulder pain, and I went to the doctor. This is the day of shot. This is the day before shot luck, maybe, and we're all at Tyler's. And the doctor, when I get the MRI back, they're like, hey, like you really have bad nerve damage. We don't know how it's going to heal. So I'm really upset, but I'm holding all in. Boys are having a good day. So me and Cody get paired up to play this game that we play called Dice against each other.
I had no idea, by the way, that this kid was crying about his career being over prior to this. Like, I had no idea.
So I beat Cody in this dice game, and he's just knocked me off my high horse right away. And he knows my shoulder's problem. He's like, "Oh, my shoulder, it's so bad. Like, I don't know."
He's not gonna talk about the most controversial dice game of all time.
No,
He's just gonna say, "I beat him in dice." Okay, keep going. Keep going.
Hey, you should have made up the rules like I do, man.
Keep going.
So we get to Mike's shed later in the night, and Cody starts wanting to play wrestle. And one thing gets into another, and he wants chaos. He knows I'm upset. And next thing you know, me and him have a full-on Royal Rumble. We're bouncing off the trike and the fridge, just trying to kill each other. And I'm genuinely upset. And Cody had a smile on his face the whole time. He never even blinked.
I started crying after Greer. I was like,
Yeah, you left out a big part of that story when you cried.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that.
He was screeching.
I was.
Yeah, I did feel bad after that, but at the time, I did really want to wrestle Verdo.
I think the best quote to come from that story too was, "Who was there when you broke your wrist, Droves? Who was there when you broke your wrist?"
Yeah. He was.
And Drove's answer was Kyle. I honestly don't care if you ever play another game of hockey.
Oh, come on. I did not say that. No chance I said that.
Okay,
Smile on your face. You thought
maybe I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but I don't have a specific story. But I think like as more of a generalization, I don't know. We never got to the bottom of why he is the way he is. But like Cody growing up always had this. I can't figure it out. But he was horrible at saying goodbye. So what he just started doing to make sure he didn't have to figure out how to say goodbye to everyone is just leaving without anyone knowing, or the option was making up a massive fib that just got him out of any situation. And so the one short one I'll use is it's NHL draft night, and we're on my patio, and Hughes loves this one already. We're on my patio. We're having a good time. I'd say that night, I probably had like, it wasn't a massive group, but it was enough that, you know, you wouldn't want to have to say goodbye to everyone individually, probably like 20, 30 people. And we're having a great time, and we're on the patio having some drinks, and we're watching the draft. Well, we're paying attention to it. And the night was getting a little bit later, and Cody obviously wanted out. And so instead of just saying, "Hey guys, I'm going to head home," which I can understand can be a little bit difficult in our friend group, because we're always like, "No, like it's only early. You got
It's impossible."
Everyone's like, it's hard to leave anywhere, which is why most of our nights last so long. But Cody wouldn't have any of it. He would just find a way out of every situation. And this night, and it's really funny to me, especially as a Habs fan. Cody obviously played Moncton Wildcats with Ivan Barbashev, and Cody's a massive Leafs fan. So Cody screams around the patio. He goes, fuck. And we're like, man, what's wrong? He's like, I can't believe this. He was like, Barbashev just got drafted by the Habs. And he walks down the stairs and everyone thinks he's actually fuming. No one bothers to check the phone. And he actually goes home and everyone's like, wow, man, I didn't know Cody would take that like so personally. We checked our phone a few hours later and Barbashev was drafted by the Blues. Like he made it up completely, but he was just banking on no one checking it. And he just got out of here. So that always used to just get under my skin. And even when we play Xbox, it's like, Cody, you're allowed to leave. Like just say goodbye. But Cody has never said goodbye. He just leaves. He's just gone.
Well, I'm just gonna sewer myself here, but I feel like we're talking about disturbing shit. So, and this will be a really good story for Grills' Pod. And I don't care if you guys want to tell the story about when we were playing baseball at Centennial Field. If anyone wants to say it for Grills' Pod, that's the only way I'll let this be out there. Is for Grills' Pod.
What story is that?
That was Church Road Park. I thought.
Is it the one with Verdo?
No.
Oh,
the one,
wow.
We're not telling that story,
Thank
but the one
God.
where I had to go home.
Lines here.
Is it when you were taking a big lean on first base?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll tell this story because this is a really good one.
Cody.
Yeah. So we used to love playing this thing called one base baseball, where like instead of having three bases because we didn't have enough people, sometimes we just go home plate and first base and like in a vertical line, you'd have to run between them. So of course, going back to Cody being like a shit disturber and a maggot, he would always lean like halfway off the base just to try and like get a head start or whatever, and just try to be sneaky. So this one time, I can't remember if I was pitching or not, but I turned around to try and pick him off on first base, and Cody just freezes. Like doesn't move a muscle, just standing there, and everyone's like, "What are you doing?" So we go and tag him out, and he still doesn't move. And we're like, "Cody, what are you doing?" He goes, "Boys, I got to leave." I'm like, what? He's like, "I just shit my pants." in the middle of the field, just shit himself. Had to go home, but I mean, God love him. Went home, changed, came back with a roll of toilet paper, and was like, "You never know if it's going to happen again, boys." So he came back with a roll of toilet paper and a new pair of underwear.
Yeah, and a change of underwear just in case it happened again.
Yeah.
But Tyler is sick at lists though, by the way.
Can confirm.
Wait, what just happened? What I get tripped for?
I said you are sick at lists.
Oh yeah, no. Going back to the question that was not. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a freak. There's no doubt when it comes to organization and lists and all that. But if you want someone like organizing like a tournament or like even just like something, even if we're doing like drinking games or a round of golf or something, I'm your guy for sure. So
yeah.
Except I did once accidentally cheat Cody Drover on the front line, and I thought we were going to come to blows because I'm always the one that counts. But I was wrong that day, and I can admit I was wrong. But wow, we got a little bit heated. We were definitely. It actually ruined his entire round. I forgot about it by hole 10. He was still thinking about it hole 15. So
yeah, the 10th tee box that day was a bit different. The vibes were a little different that day.
Well, none of us really ever get that mad at each other. And me and Tyler were that mad at each other that day over power bogey.
Just for everyone on the pod, he did have a par. Okay, and now it's recorded forever. And
now everyone knows I'm a shit disturber, so now everyone's gonna think it was a bogey.
Everyone's gonna think it's knowing what they know. It does seem like a bogey.
No, fuck it.
It was a patch.
Yeah, so I mean, everything we do is a competition. Like even back in high school. So like me and Cody used to do this thing back in high school, the 4 out of 7 NHL international belt on NHL 14. So we would play a 4 out of 7 series. That was all 4 out of 7 series. And I would be Team Canada. He'd be Team Sweden. And like, we'd come into school the next day and like, I'd be up 1-0 in the series. And I'll be running around like doing this, pretending I had like a wrestling belt on, saying like the champ is here. And I mean, everything we do it could be something as simple as driving home from school. Me and Cody would be like just up each other's asses driving.
We did it the other day.
Yeah, we did.
Leaving pickleball.
Yeah, we did.
We tried to race each other. I tried to cut you off.
Like 25 years old, just something as simple as driving home from the stadium becomes a competition for us. So,
man, oh man, what a group! Going, switching gears now, going right to, I guess, the question that Droves wants to have been asked. What's everybody's best quality? I'll let you run with that now, Droves.
All right. I swear to God, that's what you asked the first time, but whatever. Tyler's good at lists. He just talked about that. What is Bennett's best quality is just a softie.
You're just being
so soft. Just
the guy doesn't have the
old,
biggest heart. Like the biggest heart.
What do you think Hughes' best quality is, Tyler?
Honestly, like without even trying to be funny or having a witty, I think it's the fact that no matter what you're doing, and this obviously has to do with his FOMO as well, but if you want to throw a party or an event or just have people over for a game of cards or a board game or whatever, and like you're nervous about, you're having it at your place, so obviously you want people to show up, you want to have a good time, I guarantee 100%, no matter what, unless he's too busy that he genuinely can't come, Mike Hughes will be the first person to show up. If you invite him somewhere, unless he has other plans, like he's not gonna be like, nah, I don't want to do that, that's stupid. Like even if he knew it wasn't gonna be that good of a time, he'll still show up because you invited him, which is I think great. So
Hughes and Vardo are also, Vardo's also like that too.
Yes, super reliable people when it comes to that stuff. Yeah.
Super fun to drink with too.
What's the best drinking stories here with this group?
Oh, geez, you're
Christ, Grills.
Yeah, Grills. I don't know, man. Is this an after dark podcast
for a 9-hour podcast or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go like get a coffee or something here, Grills. Like we're gonna be here for hours because you just asked that question.
Hey, well, let's run it and let's see where we go.
A little speed round, eh?
Yeah. Go speed round. What I feel like you already got one in mind, Tyler.
Does it have to involve all of us or just one of? I'm just trying to think.
People on the call, people not on the call. I'm sure this group is just absolute outrageous.
There is. You've seen a little bit of it, and obviously, like you said, you've known me for quite some time, and there definitely used to be some good times back in the high school days as well. But I guess no. I can't sewer Drover again because one of my favorite early.
I know exactly what story.
I'm not going to do it. Centennial Field was already brought up. Now I don't want this guy to end up having like people think this is like a personality trait. So
what is it?
How do you not remember this one, Cody?
It would have been. I was going to tell Vodka Pong, but
I picked you up.
No,
I picked you up.
Remember? It's just unfair.
No, not going to make the cut.
So
I got a good drinking one. I think we were all together.
You start
when
mute.
This is actually really funny. When Tyler reminded me of Centennial Field, and we were all going to Salmon Fest one summer. We all been drinking at a party, and we were fairly drunk. Yes, pre-Salmon Fest. Who was playing that year? Was it
the Eagles that year?
Was it the Eagles year, Tyler?
It was either Eagles, Kiss, or Aerosmith. It was like one of those three. And
I think it was Eagles.
Greals for the listeners real quick. That's right. Grand Falls-Windsor had the Eagles, Kiss, and Aerosmith back to back to back. Tell us we aren't the best town. All right, go ahead, Cody.
When you think about it, Eagles, that is actually ridiculous. Like a town in Newfoundland brings in talent like that. Like that is nuts. Props to you.
Another one too. The year they have Maroon 5 play.
Yeah, Maroon 5 Pitbull. Are you kidding me right now, Mr. Worldwide?
He left Grand Falls-Windsor and then went to Brazil to play in the World Cup. Are you serious? Like Pitbull in literally the middle of a rock in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, then right over.
Yeah. All right, I need to say some girls. Kyle just texted our group chat and asked if a story was appropriate to say. So I'm just going to say yes, Kyle. After I'm done telling the Tyler story, anyway, we're on the way to Salmon Fest Grills, and Tyler was double fisting a couple Bud Lights, and he got cocky. He got super cocky, and he was double fisting Bud Lights. He finished one. He went to heave it out in the woods. Slips, falls straight down on the pavement onto the shattered beer glass, slices his hand wide open. Hand is just leaking. We're on the way to Salmon Fest. Our whole day is ruined. This guy has to go to the hospital and get stitches put in his hand for sure. Well, who's working at Salmon Fest? Our good buddy Hayden Sampson lets us into the field. We're straight backstage medical tent. Free. I still had my ticket in pocket. We didn't even have to use it. And went to the hospital via Hayden Sampson. Got Tyler all put back together. Went back to the field with Hayden Sampson backstage. Free tickets to Salmon Fest that year. So that was actually worked out pretty good, even though Tyler ruptured his hand.
No, it was worth it. Everything about that was just perfect. And actually this is cool because actually, besides for Kyle, who's back in Vermont now, Bennett, Hughes, and Cody, we're just after Greels. So I bought all these old PlayStation games. So we're just after playing NHL 2001 this past weekend, which Hughes is horrible at, by the way. And the title, and I remember this so clearly, and I'm sure Cody will now, is the title song of that is Heavy by Collective Soul, which is such a good song and such a good song for that game, right? And no joke, as soon as they had stitched up my hand, Collective Soul, who was playing that year, started playing Heavy, and me and Cody went out we got cocky, of course. We go out in the VIP.
Cocky.
We go out in the VIP section because we're like, oh, we can't miss Heavy by Collective Soul, and we did get kicked out of VIP, but then we just went back to the medical tent, and that was, oh my god, that was a hell of a story. There was a few shenanigans that happened in the hospital as well, but unnecessary.
That's what you can expect, though.
Yeah. So
all right, Faraday, you go with your story, bud. Let the world hear it.
All right, so not to throw Cody under the bus again, but we're throwing him under the bus again. And before I tell the story, I just want people to know that I've never seen Tyler Marsh take ground under a tee.
No,
ever.
I've never seen it. We've golfed hundreds of rounds with this guy. He's never hit the ground on a tee shot.
I'll top a ball, no problem. But I will not pop one up.
No.
So it wasn't on purpose, but it was. So we're down. I have a cabin down in Loon Bay, and it's a lawn right on the water. So we were teeing up golf balls the whole day. Little side story is we get out, we play a competitive game of dice, and Jordan shows up late, and he goes, "Oh, I got next game," and we're like, "Too bad. We're doing a 4-7 series, absolute grudge match. We're tearing each other apart." And so Bennett's sitting there steaming, watching us play this. We have way too many pops to finish the game. I go inside to get something out of the oven. It's dark out now, and I come out, and everyone's watching along. Like, what is going on? Cody's on where we've been teeing up balls all day, sitting down with his pants out, and Tyler's got a tee in his butt with a ball. So everyone stop, get their video cameras out, and Tyler swings, full swing, and he got so much butt. It was one of the most painful things I've ever watched. And then
got all ass.
Cody falls asleep with his butt out on his bed, and Tyler walks in. He goes, "Oh my goodness, that's the upside down from Stranger Things." And it's exactly what it looked like.
It looked identical to the upside down from Stranger Things. I've never seen a more colorful, disgusting, and also just massive bruise. Like, that was the contusion of the year, maybe the decade, arguably the century.
Easy, yeah.
There's no way the muscles in your ass have ever recovered from that.
At one point, Greels, I texted the boys and said, like, every time I used to take a step, my butt cheek was like flimsy. Like, there was the muscles in my butt cheek wouldn't work.
DeChambeau couldn't have hit it harder.
No, literally.
I've got another good one it was just me and Mersh, and we were in Montreal in, I think it was 2018 maybe. I can't even remember if it was for a hockey game or for Osheaga. I think it was for a hockey game. It was because the night started. We went to Jack Astor's. We were going to Leafs Habs in at the Bell Center, and so we're downtown. We leave our hotel. We go to Jack Astor's to try and get a table for a couple beers and a bite to eat before the game. So we're sitting down, and we asked for a table. They didn't have one for us, but they said, "Give us your phone number, and we'll give you a text when the table's ready." So we just go kind of walk around downtown for a bit. They said it'd be about a half hour, and like an hour and a half, 2 hours later, we still hadn't got a text. And we're like, well, the game starts soon, so we should probably just scrap Jackassers, go to the Bell Center, watch the game. So that's what we did. And, the night just took us. We kept drinking and drinking and drinking. And me and Marshy are stumbling home at about 2:45 in the morning. And I'm like, we're walking past the Jackassers and it's still open. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go in here and I'm going to be a dick kind of, and I'm just going to go in here and shoot some shit and see what I can do. So I walk in and I show them the text on my phone that's like, you'll be notified when a table's ready for you. And this was like 8 hours ago now. This is back at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon or the evening. And the manager comes over to us and he's like, sorry about that. Is there anything we can do for you? I was like, well, can you give me like a gift card or something? Like, I was just fishing for anything at this point. And he's like, I can't give you a gift card, but here's what I can do for you. So me and Marsh are sitting at this bar, like we're already out of it. And he walks over to us with 2 shots of tequila and 2 beers. And he's like, it's on the house, enjoy. And he just sits there and he starts staring at us. Because I think he notices that we're not fit to be drinking right now. So me and Marsh look at each other and we're like, all right, we got to take down this shot. We can't even screw our faces up. We got to pretend like it's the best shot we've ever had in our life. We drink the shot, we chug the beer, and then we walk out of beer market at 3 o'clock in the morning. So this is where the story gets really crazy. We get back to the hotel.
I thought you were gonna stop there, but all right.
No, I'm just gonna tell the whole story. Yeah. So we get back to the hotel and we're in the room. It's like 4:30 in the morning. Marsh goes in the bathroom, not feeling well, locks the bathroom door, passes out in the bathroom. So I'm like, oh man, this is not good, because I wake up in the middle of the night and like I really gotta piss. So in my drunken mind, I'm like, well, I have a great idea. I grab my wallet, I go downstairs because my wallet has my room key in it. I go downstairs and I don't really realize this. I get out of the elevator in the main lobby and everyone just starts staring at me. And I'm like, oh, why is everyone looking at me? And I forget, this is like 5 o'clock in the morning. Sun's not even up yet. Here I am in the lobby of our hotel in my boxers only. And I go up to the front desk and I'm like, hey, where's the washroom? I really need to pee. And they just look at me and they point over to the bathroom. I'm like, thanks. I don't realize till I get back up to the room that I'm literally just in my boxers right now in the middle of a hotel lobby at 5 in the morning. Oh, because Marshy was passed out in the bathroom and I couldn't get in.
I was an absolute mess. Like, I felt so bad, especially since, like, side note of that story, Hughes, who has a fantastic moral compass, I'd say he was about, like, if he hadn't found a washroom, I'd say the guy was no less than 15 seconds away from pissing in the ice machine, because he had a look at it. He stared it down. Like, he was like, can I do this? Like, I'm not this guy. And ultimately he didn't end up doing it, but I'll tell you one thing, he thought about it. Me, I was in the washroom, made the mistake of I got a little stick there in the sink and didn't know how to drain it. So the little plastic cups they give you in hotel rooms, I was going back and forth between the sink and the shower for about an hour. Yeah, it was a bad scene, but we've all been there. Shouts out to you, Mike, for that. Our hotel was actually 3 blocks away from this restaurant, and Mike piggybacked me the entire way back to the hotel and did not step on a single crack because I told him I didn't want to break our mom's backs. So that was a good one. That was a good time.
Man, honestly though, too bad, because I can guarantee you that Jackassers manager wanted to give you the 2 tequila shots and the 2 beers just to wreck your night, so he didn't even get to see the rest of like the aftermath.
Hughes has been saying that for years. Hughes was like, he knew exactly what he was doing. A gift card was never in the cards.
Yeah, that's the number. Hughes, I don't know if you ever worked in a restaurant, but my days of working in restaurants in Ottawa or even here, you screw up, that's the go-to. Hey, I'm sorry, here's a gift card.
Yeah, that's the training.
This guy was having no part of a gift card. He went right to the alcohol. Just
this guy wanted to watch the world burn. No doubt about that in my mind.
Hey, Marshy, you got a good story with is it the Blues or the Leafs or whatnot?
Blues.
Hey, Grills. Tyler Marsh here. Currently in the same bedroom as my loving girlfriend. I'm not going to tell that story. Maybe a late night version of the pod. But yeah, okay. We'll go. We'll give the 5-minute PG version of this.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's all I got, because I'm confused as to what this R-rated version is. Because all you
Oh.
told me was that you ran into a couple of players and almost didn't get in, and then got in, and then that was it. That's where you ended the story.
Okay, good. So in that case, forget the last 20 seconds. Let's rock and roll here. Yeah, so basically, I was in Toronto for a golf trip, and back when there used to be concerts and sporting events, and I went by myself. It was probably it was like a couple months after me and the girl I was with split. So like I had all these tickets, and like I'm a big concert guy and also sporting event guy, and I'll do pretty much anything myself. I'm not one of those people that gets like awkward in those situations. And so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this trip, and I'm gonna golf all the public courses in Toronto and see a few concerts, see a few games. And I also had so many friends in Toronto that I could link up with. So I linked up with my my buddy Matty. And I was like, hey, what time you get off work? He's like, I get off at 6. And he lives downtown Toronto. So I was like, man, Blues, Leafs, 6:30. Come on. Like, it's Monday night. Let's go. Man, I don't know. I'm cutting it close. I was like, listen, I will buy the tickets. All I need you to do is show up and maybe buy a couple beers. And he was like, all right, you know what? I'll make it work. Like, we'll meet at your hotel, which was only a 2-minute walk. He said, we'll meet at your hotel right around 6:30. So he gets there. We walk down, had a few of those $18 beers at the game, the big ones. And after a few rounds, and it was a quick game, 3-2 game, not many penalties, not many whistles. We were out of there just before 9 p.m. So I'm like, all right, man, thanks for coming. He's like, listen, I know it's a Monday, but like we can't end our night here. So I was like, all right. So he called his girlfriend and said, hey, we're gonna go for a beer. That's how it always starts. He drove over. Yeah, so we go to King Taps nearby, great spot, and started having a few pints. And of course, especially after a few of those mucho expensive stadium beers, things were starting to taste good. And one round turned to 2, which turned to 3, and then we actually made the responsible choice to end the night. So as we're calling it quits, we pay our bills. We go in the washroom, and there's it's Jaden Schwartz, Alex Steen, and I can't remember who the third one in the washroom was at the time. Anyways, a few of the boys, right? And so instead of being like, because we're still like 23, 24 at this time, instead of being like the starstruck kind of fan, we were just like, oh, like, like good game tonight, boys, or whatever. And Bennington had played an amazing game. So they were like, yeah, like we owe it all to Binner or whatever. We're just having a casual conversation. And so they were like, think you boys want to hit up an after party? I had a flight 11 a.m. the next morning. Maddie had work at 6 a.m. It was a horrible idea, but like, how do you say no? It's once in a lifetime opportunity. So they gave us the name of the place, and they were like, yeah, just follow our cab. So that's what we did. And we basically told our cab driver, like, do not lose this cab in front of us. Like everything is riding on this. So the guys just weave it in and out of traffic, like making sure we stay behind this cab. And we show up at this bar, and I can't remember if it's called Marble or Granite, something that you would make a countertop out of. And and we get there, and there's this long queue, and there's all these people outside, and so the guys get out of the cab in front of us, and they waltz right in, obviously. And so me and Maddie get out of the cab, pair cabbie, and we waltz right up to the front, skip the line, and we're like, we're with them. And they're like, no. I'm like, no, seriously, like, we just showed up with them. Like, we were just at King Taps together. Like, you gotta let us in. They're like, okay, what's the password? And Grills, this part just sounds so fake. And every time I tell it, it sounds more fake. But honest to God, in that moment, I just found another gear. And so the guy's like, what's the password? And in my drunken stupor, I looked him dead in the eyes, confident as ever, and said, Cup Champs. And he was like, all right, boys, go on in. And I remember me and Maddie looking at each other all wide-eyed, like, there's no way that just worked. Like, this can't be happening. And we walk in, and they're confiscating everyone's phones, but like not ours, because at this point, the staff in there, we just came in right behind the players. They think we're St. Louis Blues players, which I'm okay with that. So yeah, we had a pretty good night. And our icebreaker was actually, from an earlier story, our icebreaker was Ivan Barbashev, went up and had a quick chat with him, talked about how we had a mutual friend in Drover, and he's like, "Oh, Drover, I love that guy. Like, get him on the phone." I'm like, "That's not what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm not getting Drover on the phone." But yeah, no, all the guys were super good to be around, and good to have drinks with, and they're pretty chill. And
all right, Tyler, now
yeah.
go tell Allie to leave the room and continue the story.
Nah, it's okay. All I can say is there's definitely a reason that phones get confiscated. As you can imagine, like, you know, a lot of money floating around in these places, and
I have no idea what you could be talking about. Can you?
No,
Marsh, this is my bad, man. I didn't mean to bring this up because this is where you ended the story for me originally.
Yeah,
still
and you know what?
Still a sick story.
It's an appropriate place to end the story, but yeah, that's all I'll say is there is definitely a reason that phones get confiscated. If you had a bunch of people from the general public walking around with phones and cameras in these places, I think it would shut down the NHL a lot faster than COVID. Tell you that. So
I gotta say this though, you throwing out cup champs is probably the most clutch thing that's ever happened in sport. Like the Kawhi Leonard shot, nope. Like Jordan Everly scoring against the Russians with like 3 seconds left or whatever it was, nope. Like Tyler Marsh throwing out cup champs, that one's up there.
I would have to agree.
All right, what's the best thing about growing up in Grand Falls-Windsor? Because I can't imagine we got lots to talk about there.
Stadium fries.
Good call, Vardo. Great call, Vardo.
That's clutch there, buddy.
But I mean, I think the best part about growing up in this town is, well, for me, it's our friend group. We have like 25 really close friends, and we grew up together. And we did everything together, and it didn't matter like where we were having fun doing anything. And that's what I thought the best part about Grand Falls-Windsor was. I mean, there's not that much else to this town besides for the boys, but you know, we had some fun growing up. And like obviously you could tell, Grills, geez, we haven't shut up in like however long we've been on this call, but yeah. But from playing hockey, baseball, and then like drinking with the guys in Mike's shed. Mike has a world famous shed. Tell Grills about Christmas and how many times we went to Mike's shed.
Yeah, so
because Tyler kept a list of this.
Oh, I did keep a list. Yeah, okay. You know what? It was a little crazy, but no, we do one thing, and I guess a lot of places are like this, but we like kind of pride ourselves on this. Is we do summers huge, and we do Christmas is huge, and it's been like that for 5-6 years. That when we all graduate, like boys, like every single time we're back together, we're not like never take the foot off the gas. We gotta go hard. And Mike's shed is genuinely like a famous, it's like a staple of our friend group in Grand Falls-Windsor, and we're there all the time, and it's a good spot. And Mike was actually nice enough to host us in the shed for and also kept, the best part about it is he kept it under 20 every time. So we were following COVID protocols.
Retweet.
And he had 6 just amazing shed parties, and they would have everything. It's like one night you're up till 4 a.m. doing karaoke. Another night you're playing beer pong and flip cup. Other night you're just doing sing-alongs and playing darts. And other nights is a card night. And he always just we knew that if we were stuck for a place at any time, if you go over to 23 Crawley, you're gonna have a fire lit and beers on ice. And that's just another great quality of Mike's, is he's never gonna let, if we're running out of options and everyone wants to have a good time, he's always the first person to lend his place out, which is great. So I don't know,
Mike, what's your biggest tips and strategies of throwing a good shed party?
The most important part is never run out of booze. That's number one. You always got to have an extra case of beer to kicking around the fridge. Other than that, good vibes, good music, you know, making sure that everyone who's there is just having a good time.
No one's smashing bottles.
No one's smashing bottles. Yeah. No, we get a bit rowdy in there sometimes. There's no doubt about that. But I don't know. Just as long as everyone's feeling good, booze is flowing, games are going on. I mean, how can you not have fun?
And no more dancing with brooms, eh?
Yeah, well, I guess another good story about that. I had to get 17 stitches in my hand one night because we were.
What's up with this crowd and stitches in the hand?
Yeah, I
Just
know.
such a dangerous crowd to be around, girls. You don't want to mess with us, buddy.
So we had there was like a metal broom in the shed and it was broken. So I was just like bending it up, trying to break it up into smaller pieces and put it into the garbage. And when I did this, I ended up slicing my hand. So, of course, I was bleeding everywhere, and I was like, well, I got to go to the hospital. But instead of like telling everyone to leave, I just kind of kept it a secret and just snuck out and went to the hospital. So went, got stitched up, came back home, and no one really knew the better about it until the next morning when I woke up and my hand was completely bandaged and had 17 stitches in it. So
Mike's thought process was, if I tell my parents and they drive him to the hospital, they'll kick everyone out of the shed. So I'm going to sneak out and get a ride. And then he comes back, doesn't tell his parents at all. And then the next day, his mom was rather upset that he didn't tell her anything about last night.
Insanely for the boys. It was just such a good friendship moment.
Yeah, honestly, that might just be the biggest for the boys moment I've ever heard of. Kudos to you, Mike. Alrighty, now looking back on it, when you guys are in high school and growing up, now knowing what you know at like 26, 27, who's lived up to the expectation of what you thought they were going to be and doing?
Mike. He's literally his dad.
Literally. That's just facts.
Yeah.
I can't believe Tyler works at car dealership personally. That just blew my mind.
Yeah. Who could have seen this coming? You know, the short answer to that is I feel like looking at the five of us, like I kind of expected everyone to be exactly where we are. Like I knew that I would be kind of running the family business. I knew that Mike would, I mean, you didn't know it at the time, say like 5-10 years ago, because you weren't sure what you want to do, but teacher was always an option, and I could always see you being a good teacher. Bennett, I knew you were always going to do something related to finance or accounting or just money in general, and something on the business side. Kyle, I knew you would still be going to hopefully get your doctorate, and I knew that if you were 23 and there was any way of still playing hockey, you would. And Cody, you're pretty much, besides for the curveball that which obviously worked out great for everyone, but having the kid and everything, you played hockey up until the very last moment that it made sense to, and had COVID and a baby not come into play, you'd still be playing pro hockey somewhere, either Germany or France or in the coast or elsewhere. And I would have said that too, because I always knew that if you could play till you were 25, you would, or 30, you would, or 50, like Yager,
Yeah.
you definitely would. So I expected kind of all five of us to be exactly where we are. So I think everyone's lived up to expectations.
Great answer, Tyler.
I am a little bit disappointed that Drover's not on the top line with Matthews and Marner on the Leafs right now, but got to give him a little bit of a break, right?
Well,
I was expecting free season tickets from Droves to watch him skate around with the boys, but that's all you can do.
Marsh, it's probably a good thing he's not on the Leafs, eh?
Yeah, absolutely brutal. He'd probably improve them, to be honest. No, good squad this year. I don't know if you guys saw me flash, and I didn't want to interrupt anyone's story, obviously, but if you guys haven't tuned in, it is Montreal Canadiens 6, Vancouver Canucks 1. I just wanted to point it out.
Oh my God.
I will. I'll go back to the shadow realm now and mute myself, but it's important that everyone knows.
Hey, go Habs, go. That's
exactly. Jeff Petrie is an absolute wagon for me tonight in fantasy hockey too. 2 goals and an assist +4. Are you kidding me?
Good hockey player.
Super underrated.
Droves, what's it like having all these guys as like co-dads?
Oh, it's the best. That they're over here every day, and Addie loves them too. She's always laughing and stuff around them. Bennett at one point was here for 150 straight days. So that was actually fun. He'd bring me a coffee every day, and we'd sit down and shoot the shit and play with Addie all day when I was a stay-at-home dad. Every time she takes my Xbox headset down, she goes, "Mike, Mike, and puts it on her head because she thinks Mike's always on the headset for some reason. And Tyler used to come over for every Manchester United game before we started working together, and now we work through the Manchester United games. But it's been awesome. And Kyle's just been playing hockey, just living my dream, playing hockey still, making me jealous. But it's been awesome. They're the best friends for Addie. They're great influences, and well, most of the time they are. But yeah, you can't ask for a better group of guys to be around Addie.
She's really up to Mike too. That was something I think she was a little bit intimidated by, like Mike's beard and everything. I'm not just saying that. I actually think like Mike was a little bit scary to her, and now the last few times we've been around her, man, she really seemed to take to Mike. She loves him now.
She's just been staring at Mike for the past like 5 hours we've been around her.
Hey, Bennett, 150 days, 150 coffees. How many tabs has Drover picked up out of those coffees?
Oh, probably one or two. He was stay-at-home dad, so I'm out and about, and I was like, you know what, I'll bring you a coffee and sometimes a few packs of Timmy's hockey cards too.
That's what godparents do.
So you can pull the best card out of it. But no, man, I wouldn't trade that for anything. I'd go another 150. But it was always good hanging around with them every day. Cool thing that me and Cody did, and I guess all of us, where as we're all socially active, and Addie's always out buzzing around, running around. If you go and hold a glass or a bottle up to her and say cheers, she'll cheers the glass and then drink out of her sippy cup. So that's something I am just insanely proud of.
Yeah, you started that.
What's funny? I didn't spend a whole lot of the time in Grand Falls until more or less no one droves, and even to this day I still haven't really spent a whole lot of time out there. When we used to have tournaments, more or less the evenings were spent running across that highway, jumping over the barrier, going through like each section of the Mount Peyton. That's what I did. So if you guys ever almost hit a couple kids, either
that's an absolute thrill, hey?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Jumping that median. Whoo!
Dude, man, my hops are like a -3 inches though, so like that was also a little bit scary for myself there.
It was a legit life-threatening activity.
Really was army crawling over the median, just arms and legs.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hop. It was like grab, try and pull, then like kind of shoulder roll, and then fall, and then continue. Yeah, definitely wasn't my smartest move for sure. Because the thing is like if anything was coming, or like roll the ankle on the way, like I was an absolute liability.
Oh yeah, that's something I've literally never played in this town before. Actually, I literally did it on Friday. I had to hop the highway from Tyler's work to Speedy Glass because Tyler wouldn't give me a truck to go around the thing. So he's like, Drover, go hop the median and go to Speedy Glass. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll go risk my life.
Oh my, I'm not even gonna respond to that.
Droves, man, I gotta say, it's definitely a blessing meeting you at university, especially when a couple moments that you came in clutch too with the wisdom teeth pickup.
Yeah, that was huge. And you came in clutch too with this little shit's pickup.
Yeah. Dude, that it's crazy. Eh? That all unfolded in like 4 weeks. So I even look back at it now. If I didn't choose that weekend to get my wisdom teeth out, I'd probably still have them in.
That you were wheeling the nurse. That you wanted everything to do with that nurse when you're getting your wisdom teeth taken out. And she was really sweet too. She had to be from Newfoundland. I feel like she had to be. Because you guys were talking in the same language and you could barely understand you because you were on your you were sedated.
Look at the look on Greeley's face. He doesn't remember anything that happened when he was under anesthetic. Like, I don't know, man. She put needles in me.
And then he wanted to go to Tim's, and it was an absolute wild ride in that Timmy's too. Oh my god, trying to get Greel's what he wanted to order. But he was good after. But my god, was it ever funny? I was laughing for an hour straight. It was hilarious.
I have no recollection. I remember standing up in the Tim's.
Yeah, because that's when you started to come to with the Tim's. Oh, it was hilarious.
Dude, I don't know.
You don't
Man.
remember
I think
the do you remember sitting down and you're
Speechless.
like in the spot where you were sitting? And you're like in the spot where you were sitting?
I remember kind of like waking up and being like, you know what, I'm gonna screw with them a little bit. And
You
when
were
they
you
say it's
you were
you,
like
did I do this? Did I
Cody,
execute on it?
Cody, my buddy Cody. I was like,
Okay.
oh my god, girls.
In my
It was
head,
hilarious.
I was gonna pull like I was gonna try and pull like I have no idea who this man is. Like, why are you trying to take me?
Oh really? That would
Yeah,
have been
that's
funny.
what I thought I did. I
Oh
didn't-
god, no.
Hey,
It was
well,
hilarious.
that's the thing. I guess wisdom teeth just knock you out.
Mm.
Dude, you've never even mentioned that to me yet.
No, I couldn't even. The next like 2 days, I was still awkward about it. I was like, oh my god, girls. It was so funny though.
So now moving forward, where do you think this friend group's going to be in another 10 years?
Doing the same thing, literally.
Just living the dream.
Yeah, honestly, like I think things will change. I'm sure there'll be a few more kids, maybe a few weddings and some other stuff. But I feel like a lot of stuff just won't change. Like the kind of dynamic that we've had in the friend group for the last 10, 15 years, and even now, like they said earlier, I've never seen such a large group of friends, especially stay as close for this long as we have, and it seems like it's always expanding. And I can just see us doing a lot of the same stuff. And
I have to
if that's
I have
the
to
way it is, I hope
backtrack.
so.
I have to backtrack to something Tyler just said. I am going to have 2 children in July, and Tyler's the only other one of us in a relationship, and he said there's going to be more kids. So there's a lot of pressure on Tyler right now, just because he said that, and
Dude,
it's
I'm
true.
just waiting to find out. I'm just waiting to find out if you have a boy or not. If you have a boy, then I gotta fast track the process so they play hockey together. You gotta do what you gotta do, honestly. So
Yeah, Vardo probably has a few kicking around.
Bardo undoubtedly has some kids floating around, no doubt.
Hey, if I don't, I'm not gonna be married till I'm like 50. So I'm just gonna live through your kids and watch you guys play with them.
Sounds good, buddy. Send me some money for some diapers too, would you?
What do you
Boys,
go ahead,
I'm
Mike?
sorry. It'll all be good when Svardo's making $500K a year, so don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
That's still insane.
Yo, 500K.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll take him 5 years to pay back his student loans.
5 years. Take me my whole life.
Marsh, you talked about how close this group is, and yeah, it is tough to keep a group together for as long as you guys had, especially with there's a couple guys here who had to go away for school and are playing hockey and are still away. What do you guys think the secret to that is?
Man, besides the obvious answer, like the literal answer is Facebook Messenger, but because that's like no joke.
I have also another answer too.
You know those message counters, like those plugins you have on the internet where like you can check like, oh, this group chat has so and so many messages, so and so. Like ours reached like 20 million messages, and then the counter broke. Like you can no longer search up how many messages are in our group chat. Like we started it for a random hiking trip back in when we the summer that we graduated. So like we're talking like July 2013, and yeah, the group has just, I would say there's no less than 50 million messages in the group chat right now. But the other secret is just like try to just try to be involved with what your buddies are doing, and just be willing to go the extra mile. And like you look at, I mean, Greals, you were there. Like when you look at these guys, like we were all willing to go to nationals in Halifax to see Cody play just to be there, which unfortunately didn't happen. We talked about, I guess you guys talked about that in a previous podcast, and obviously you've talked about it as friends before. It's like, but we were willing. We were like, okay, if this is Cody's last chance to play collegiate hockey, and we only have to hop on a plane, or in Vardo's case, which was again one of the most for the boys things ever. Vardo drove like 14 hours to get there. Like we were willing to do it, because if it was one of us in that position and we had been kind of striving for something our entire lives, and it was doable to be there for it, I know that any of us would have went and watched the other person. So you just gotta, like I said, you just gotta kind of be there for your buddies if you can, and like I said, you'll have longevity, no doubt.
Yeah, we've been fortunate enough that, like Tyler said, like, you know, we were all able to make the trip to Halifax, you know, just to get together, completely random, just for something to do. And like, we were gonna go to, myself and Tyler and our other buddy Eric, we're gonna go to Coachella last April, right before COVID kind of shut everything down. And I mean, we talked about a part of our trip was literally on the way home, we stop into Ottawa because we're already on the other side of the states. Why not on our way back pop into Ottawa and just see Cody, right? And just because,
And Kyle was going to meet us in Ottawa.
yeah, and Kyle was going to drive up and meet us there. So I mean, we've been fortunate enough that we've been able to, even though we may have been split apart by work or school or whatever the case may be, we've still been able to reconnect and get together and see each other from time to time, which also definitely helps, right?
And video games. We play a lot of video games together.
Fortnite too, yeah. Fortnite saved us as well.
Silver lining about Halifax was we all got together when Cody's games were canceled. We had 3 days till our flights, and it was the last week and the bars were open, and we took full advantage.
Yep, the very last, boys, that was the last weekend. Think about that now.
That's insane.
That was the very last weekend of normal life.
That's insane.
That's so crazy. That was almost a year ago.
Crazy to think, hey, Mike?
Yeah, crazy to think. Yeah, I spent that weekend in California just wilding out.
Did he ever?
By the way, Greeley, don't believe Mike's sunshine and rainbows stories about seeing Cody on the way back from California. I guarantee you, it's a blessing that Coachella got canceled, because there was no way Michael Joseph Hughes was making it back from California. There is no way, not a chance. I was going to Ottawa by myself. I guarantee you that. The guy was either going to be locked up or worse. Like, no way.
He was gonna stay in California and tell the TripAdvisor, the lady at the front desk, that his children were in the hospital.
Oh,
his wife was in labor.
Would have said anything, man.
Yeah.
California. I'm surprised he made it back from Halifax, to be honest.
I am too.
Yeah, it's a miracle I'm here.
No word of a lie, really. Like, I still can't believe this is fact, but Mike, who was teaching full time at the time and only had like a certain amount of time off for Easter breaks and stuff like that. You know, Mike booked a flight to California, but did not book one home, which I find absurd. He was like, I'm just gonna see how much fun I'm having in California and like wherever the wind takes me. I'm like, you have a life. Like, what are you talking about? But the guy, I mean, we didn't end up going anyway because of COVID, but the guy did not have a flight home, which is just terrifying to think.
Well, I mean, it was going to be my big break. I knew. I just had a feeling I'd be in movies right now, or I don't know. I'd be doing
Hollywood
something.
Hughes.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm so what, you were hoping to hop up on stage and have a career as a Coachella entertainment, or what?
TikTok. He would.
Yeah, I was going to either meet David Dobrik in the Vlog Squad or meet up with all the famous TikTokers, and they were just going to fall in love with my high energy, awesome personality, and I was just going to make it big. You know, that was my plan.
Hey, Droves, here's my biggest shit disturbed Droves story. Watch your mic, eh? You're in the you got it with your headphones. You're in your hoodie, and you're just giving us a bunch of racket there.
The guy has not muted his microphone once.
No, that's the thing.
Because I'm not as fortunate enough as you guys on your laptops. Shut up.
Hey, yeah, Droves, you know what? I'll forgive it, but hey, just it was getting worse with your hood up, so I was just like, all right.
I'll be like that guy on TikTok that holds his mic like this and talks about all the crazy moments. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Do you know what Bennett knows I'm talking about?
Exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I'll just hold it up like this.
What's your crazy moment, Droves? You gotta live up to it now. You're holding the mic like that, you gotta go with it. You also just muted yourself.
See, now we're gonna have an issue. But he's like the crazy story about Magic Johnson, or This is 23 facts about Michael Jordan that someone didn't know about. You know what I'm talking about?
I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. Oh, he's like, who's the wild guy? He's like the wild life. Oh, the wild career that was Manny Ramirez. Seen that one today. Anyway, continue.
All right, here's so before this call, I Googled like fun and interesting questions to ask your friends. So this is just a random list for the internet. I'm going to toss these out there, and you guys can figure out how to mingle that amongst yourself. All right. So let's go with this one here. Who was your worst and favorite teacher, and why?
Worst teacher, me and Madame Roth with 1000%. Girl will give you detention if you colored outside the lines.
Yep.
Just facts.
You know what? I don't want to I don't want to slander any teacher I've ever had, but I will make an exception for Madame Roth because she was our French teacher, but she was Russian, like just full-blown Russian, like spelled Natasha with a J. And she was as bad as the boys said. Like me, Bennett, and Cody all happened to have her in grade 2, but man, she made you grow up real fast.
And the chances of her hearing this podcast, because Russian she is, are 0. Like no shot. Hughes, you didn't call one of your coworkers out on the worst teacher?
Yeah, I was just about to say I'm definitely not going to speak up here on my least favorite teacher, just because I am now employed by the same company or the same place that would also have employed this or that person. So I'm not going to say the worst, but the best I've ever had. His name was Windsor. Taught me biology in grade 12. He was fantastic. He was one of the best teacher I've ever had for sure.
And my favorite, a buddy of Grayson or Mr. Windsor's would be Roland Baker.
Yeah, another great answer, Bennett.
Mine.
You can't go wrong with either of those.
I really liked him because he used to. When I was in his class, the way it was split up is like when you're in grade 11, you either pick like chemistry or physics, I believe, or biology and physics. And I wanted nothing to do with physics, so I was put into a class with a lot of people who just did not really care if they were there or not. So he'd always have a hard time getting the class to settle down. So to do it, he would just rip me apart, just chirp me and everything. And I played hockey with all the guys in high school, and I sucked. Like I was not good at all, but like it was sick because I had Cody on my team who scored like 6 goals. So it never mattered if I let up 5 in 2 periods. So he would just rip me apart endlessly. And what I really liked about him is if you gave it back to him, he loved it. So he just recently retired. So he was probably my favorite.
Mike, what's it like working at your old high school?
He doesn't. He works with the rivals.
So yeah, I did my internship. I did my internship at my old high school. So I got to work with not a lot of the teachers that I had, because a lot of them had retired in the 5 or 6 years or whatever it had been since we graduated. But it was definitely really cool working with those teachers that kind of pushed me, I guess, in this direction to become a teacher myself. So just to see the other side of it, when you're a student in high school, you don't really realize a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that goes on. And to go back to my old high school and be on the other side of that window is it was definitely eye-opening for sure.
Droz, I'm also going to add any detentions that you got throughout your schooling career. I'm going to warrant that they were well justified, even if you did color outside the lines.
Absolutely. The rules were stated: stay inside the lines or detention will be given, and I just went straight outside the line. So yes, they were completely justified. It's still to this, but she gave no, I'm not going to say it, but she wasn't the nicest of teachers. For a grade 2 teacher, and for me and Tyler to remember how mean she was is saying something. But like, she also had to deal with we were a bunch of hooligans in grade 2. So I'll give her the benefit of the doubt, but like, I just remember getting detention and I just hated her from then on.
What accomplishment are you guys most proud of?
Shot Luck 2020 champions.
Yep, 100%.
Without a doubt. It's not even.
unanimous.
Yeah, like I mean, I can't imagine it's all downhill from here for me.
I'm not sure there's another answer. Like, no matter what we've accomplished over our last 25, 26 years, I don't think any of us have done anything. Like, Cody, what felt better? All-time assist leader, Ottawa GGs after like breaking a 120-year record, or hoisting the Shotluck Cup with the boys?
There was no other feeling like hoisting the Shotluck Cup. I've literally never felt that feeling before.
Grills, it's a homemade trophy it's just wrapped in tinfoil.
Yeah, it's a aluminum bowl on top of a glass milk jug.
Wrapped in tinfoil.
Wrapped in tinfoil.
Yeah. You think the Miracle on Ice was an upset? It's not even close to the Shotluck Cup.
Oh, Grills. Quick a tidbit. Vardo knows every line to the 2004 movie Miracle.
Me and Cody might have watched it 300 times on the DVD player in my van, going back and forth from the cabin.
Like, I love the movie. I can recite a lot of them. Kyle knows every single line word for word in that movie.
Should we get him to recite the Herb Brooks speech and get him to see if we can call him on that?
Oh yeah.
Are you ready, Vardo?
Start giggling.
Okay, go, Vardo. I'm gonna mute myself.
Yeah. Oh wow, nice.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. And that's what you have here tonight, boys. That's what you've earned here tonight. One Shotluck Cup game. If we played them 10 times, they might win 9. But not this game. Not tonight. Tonight, we skate with them. Tonight, we stay with them. And we shut them down because we can. Tonight, we are the greatest hockey team to ever play in the Shotluck Cup. You were meant to be Shotluck players, each and every one of you. And you were meant to be here tonight. This is your time. I'm sick and tired of hearing about what a great team the Young Guns have. Screw them. This is your time. No, go out there and take
it. Wow, Vardo. That I have goosebumps. My body is covered
right now. I'm not even joking.
No, my full body is covered in goosebumps.
I am one giant goosebump.
Honestly, it's no wonder you guys are Shotluck champs after that. Yeah.
No.
Said after we got spanked in game 1 that, and we're all out of breath. They're so much better than us. And then
the Vardo popped up and said that.
Cody,
it was lights out for the Young Guns.
Cody blocked shots. He didn't block any for the University of Ottawa GG.
That's another thing too. Like, Cody and Tyler were literally blocking shots, and like I couldn't believe it. And like I think that's the first time I personally played net in years. And like, you know, I'm a little rusty, but seeing like my friends in a game that's like relatively, I don't know, it's just for a big buzz on, and the boys were laying out and soaking.
Reels, you know how earlier you referenced, you know, the golden goal, the Kawhi shot, all that. Well, we will have what's forever known as the triple soak, and it was in a 15-second span. Cody blocked a clear goal, empty net, blocked it off. Was it your inside of your knee?
Yeah.
Behind the knee, yeah. Cody blocked one, and then Vardo took one directly in the sternum, like square in the chest. And then I took one absolutely. I'm gonna get you to look at the screen real quick. I took one. Let's just say off the buttocks, and yeah.
That's the upside down.
Yeah, exactly. It looked very similar to Drover's golf wound, but in this, like, this is a step lower than beer league hockey, and we were willing to lay our bodies on the line in overtime of game 3 and just soak those pucks. And yeah, you know what?
Let's see if we can take any question girls ask us and bring it back to Shotluck.
All right, let's go speed round, Shotluck. I wish Grills, if I had that time back and I knew what was going to go down that day, because we thought it was going to go a whole lot worse. If you could have told me in advance how that day was going to go, I bet we would have paid you like 10 grand to come capture it all for us.
Yeah, easy.
I would do anything to be able to relive that, like on
video every day, relive it.
Hey, we're leaving out the most controversial part too. Is Cody had to break the other goalie's hand for us to go down and score the game winner.
That's just facts.
Yeah, the other goalie did break his thumb, but
Sorry, Liam.
There was also the controversial offsides call.
nothing
What?
controversial about it.
They were off
Yeah, well,
3 kilometers.
Nothing
And
controversial.
only one dad was watching the game, and there was a guy on our team's father, and he was waving offsides from up in the stands. It was absolutely hilarious,
I will
and we're
die on
the
that hill.
best.
I will die on the hill that was offsides.
Yeah, same.
Champs are here.
Who's the funniest in the group?
I think we're all pretty funny when we get on the beers.
I think when we get together, we just
different sense of humor, to be honest.
Tyler is the most quick-witted for sure.
Do you know? Do we have to just reference us, or can we shout out other guys as well?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, shared some other guys.
This is basically your guys' show, eh? Like I'm just here to kind of mediate.
You're doing fantastic, girls.
Reels is the good looks. We're providing a little bit of content. But if there's one guy in our entire friend group that he's not even intentionally funny, but just I laugh at pretty much everything he says. That's Jack Warwood, who coincidentally another goalie. But I think if someone had to ask me, like, you can only answer one, who is the funniest guy in your friend group, for me it's Jack. Everything that guy says and does is just hilarious, and he also has a little one on the way, and I could picture Drover,
And it's a boy, girls.
Yeah, it's a boy. And I could always picture Drover like as a dad. Like, I didn't know it would come as soon as it did, but this guy, like, man.
Oh, Marshy froze just.
Oh, baby.
Look at that face on him.
Oh man.
Oh man. Imagine freezing like that.
He was one of the ringleaders in making fun of my 32-inch TV. How about that?
Yeah.
See, that was my 2 weeks. That's how I was thinking of that the whole time.
Doesn't have enough money.
I got 2 55s in this room, buddy.
Doesn't have enough money for good internet.
I have a 32. It does the job.
Hey, Bennett, if anything good came out of this podcast, it was the fact that Marsh's internet was so terrible for him to have a unlucky pause that.
I live in the fucking woods.
So there you go, Bennett. You got your.
Yeah, you won that one, Bennett.
Oh, there we go.
That's a W for you, Benny.
Thank you. I really deserve it.
Listen,
Tyler has a 110-inch TV and you have 32.
Yeah, and it's fine. Like, I'm not upset at all. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm actually cool with it. I'm all right. I'm fine. Like, it's cool. Tyler, you have so many TVs that are bigger than 32 inches. And you know what? That's fine.
OV, no.
Which TV family is most like this friend group?
Family Guy.
Yeah.
No, I was just wanting to see your guys' reaction.
I was thinking kind of along the lines of the Office cast.
Oh, I love that
I
answer.
mean, because we have like Jack Horwood be like Creed Bratton with like the most ridiculous one-liners of all time. Just like like Tyler was saying, like out of nowhere he can just be like, yeah, he can just say something completely out of the blue that no one's talking about. It just gets everyone roaring. And I mean, then you got I guess Cody would be Jim Halpert because Jim Halpert was a maggot.
Oh baby, I love that use. Thank you.
I don't know. Like, I mean, Vardo would be like
Vardo is Dwight.
No, Vardo's not Dwight. Vardo's not Dwight.
That's the biggest compliment you can pay someone. Are you kidding me?
Dwight's awesome.
Who would Vardo be?
Michael Scott.
Maybe, yeah.
No one likes Michael Scott. We all like Vardo.
Michael Scott, I think he was all common sense. So it's like opposite of Vardo.
I think if Friday Beers made a show, we'd definitely fit in that one pretty good.
Yeah.
They have.
Vardo tags us in a Friday beer post Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Can I be 100% honest with you guys? I've never seen one of them. They're locked, and I wish. You know what? I'm a shitty friend because I have never
You've never disclosed this information.
I've never followed the page so that I could see Vardo's post. I just
Vardo literally looks.
Post when I just react to it.
Hurdle literally looks heartbroken right now. Like he looks like he would jump off a cliff right
I haven't
now.
watched one of them. I've sent you at least 50 since Christmas.
Yeah, I know.
But like,
I knew there was going to be a can of worms open tonight. I just didn't know what can.
I've learned to like not send any like Instagram videos to like, well, you guys. Actually, Cody will send me like a pity haha. But if I send him like a video, it's like a golf video or like something funny like on Instagram, it's like everybody.
Bennett's the giveaway guy. You can expect 2 to 3 times a week getting tagged into someone giving away something. Bennett has tagged 3 friends.
Yeah, and one of these days he's gonna win it. And listen, I'm going to win one of these days. And who's
are you sharing the prize? Are you sharing the prize with the guys if you win?
Absolutely not. That's all me. They're making fun of me now. That's my prize. I'm gonna win. Like what? What is it? Avon.
Yeah, Bennett, enjoy your $15 Chardonnay from Spirits and Wines Newfoundland, buddy.
It'll taste amazing.
Hey Bennett, let's just hope you win a bigger TV than Marsh one of these days.
Yeah, that's the dream.
Probably never. That's fine. I've accepted the fact that I have a 32-inch TV in my living room.
Sorry, Bennett. I wish I could win some better Wi-Fi, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, now these are to spark debates within the group. So, what do you guys think is the best invention ever created?
Don't get Hughes going.
TikTok.
Oh no, Hughes dies for TikTok, and it's so frustrating.
Best invention ever. God, that's
man.
A really
I'm looking
good
at my
question.
TV right now. And I'm thinking of something I'd rather than a TV.
Hughes, it must be when they
Imagine not having a TV.
I don't know, like fucking
something that you love.
Golf clubs.
Ooh,
I think
good
that's
call,
fantastic invention.
Great call.
I'm thinking of something like you literally cannot live without.
Panini
Which would be
maker.
what?
No, legit panini maker.
Oh, this is going to spark a huge topic. Thank you for bringing that up. Tyler's a panini maker. Tyler makes the people at Subway grill his already toasted sub every time he gets a sub. So he'll get a like foot-long chicken bacon ranch toasted, and then after they're done making the sub, he makes them grill it, and then all the stuff's falling out. They have to clean it everywhere.
Yeah, I bet the employees love that. Yeah,
they love it. And Tyler does every time. I went to order the other day, and I asked him like I went to order a sub for Tyler, and the lady said, "I was like, can I have my sub grilled, please?" She's like, "Oh, for the love of God!" She was like, "I was like, yeah, I'm getting it for Tyler," and she's like, "Oh, of course, that Tyler got you doing that." And then I was like, "I'll have a foot-long chicken bacon ranch." She was like, "You're not getting this one grilled, are you?" I said, "No, I won't get this one grilled." And she was like, "Did you say 6-inch?" I meant to say 6. She didn't say 6-inch. She's like, I was like, "Yeah." She said, "Is Tyler buying your sub?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "You're getting a foot long."
All right. If anyone from Subway Grand Falls-Windsor ever comes across this podcast, a little bit of advice. If you don't want me to try to turn my sub into a panini, don't take away panini buns. You guys took away panini buns in June of 2020. I got to grill your normal buns. That's all I'm saying. Bring back the panini. You won't have this problem.
Fair.
That's like when McDonald's made the crucial error to get rid of yellow egg from the McGriddles. Tyler and I, that used to be our staple, the McGriddle with the yellow egg, like the 3-fold yellow egg.
Yeah,
they got
Tyler
rid
used
of
to
it.
love McGriddles.
Yeah. And then that changed the game for us forever.
And McDonald's got rid of their lattes, eh? That's been bugging me. I don't know
Whoa.
how. Yeah.
They also changed their wraps completely. I mean, McDonald's is going downhill big time right now.
Snack wrap. Like, how do you mess with the snack wrap?
I literally just had McDonald's maybe an hour ago.
Like, I mean,
actually, we were
the
on this
snack wrap
pod
now
2 hours
is
ago.
literally the snack wrap. It literally has a half a piece of processed cheese on it now instead of like real shredded cheese.
Ugh.
Like, how do you come on, McDonald's?
Yeah.
Yuck.
Hey, we got McDonald's on Saturday and they ran out of fries. How do you run out of fries if you're a McDonald's? Like,
Boys, imagine if Greeley had sponsored ads and like halfway through this conversation cut off. It's like, this podcast is sponsored by McDonald's.
Well, hey, get this now. So you guys obviously remember the Sens Uber fiasco.
Yeah.
I shit you not. I went to a game that weekend.
Yes.
Sponsored Uber ads all around the Canadian Tire Center.
That's so funny.
That was so cringe. That video was wild. I'm still on their side. I think the biggest loser of that entire video is the cab driver or the Uber driver for leaking
For
it.
sharing it. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Retweet.
100%.
Yeah.
No,
And
for sure.
He thought he was going to come out in a much better light than that.
Dude, everybody thinks you're getting a big payday with that stuff. Like, unless it's the president of the United States or like the prime minister of Canada or something like that. And it's like ridiculously classified or on a whole other level, then like, man, the amount of times that like I'll have something like CBS this morning, like that big morning show down the States, picked up one of my photos of Dingo. And everybody was like, how much money you make off of that? Literally nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
They were like, hey, can we use this? And obviously it's good exposure. So I was like, yeah, sure. And then like try to negotiate. I'm like, what's your budget? And they're like, nothing. And I was like, can I get credit? He goes, sure. Show rolls. Not a mention.
They didn't mention you, Grills.
Not a mention.
That is insane. That you got to at least mention.
No.
Like, I feel bad if I don't mention on my Instagram pics from when I was actually an athlete.
Yeah, no, they and then I sent the guy a message and was just like, hey, just wondering like where can I like see the credit thing for like
nice.
It's
Good.
also like, you know, you like to have it almost as a kid, right?
It's pride. It's pride.
Yeah, and left on red.
Oh my god. Yeah. My ear is killing me from holding this mic up like this.
You're being the TikTok guy still?
Yeah.
All right. Out of the so if you guys could have the parents of another guy in this group, whose parents are you going for?
Mine, because they're
Father's dad.
Oh shit. Yeah, no, Grills. My parents have been divorced since I was 8. So I've had 2 Christmases and 2 Thanksgivings for the last 17 years. Get with that.
Yeah, retweet. All their moms are saints, though.
Honestly, I think I'd pick Vardo's parents.
Vardo's parents are
just because Paul is a buzz on it, and Heather's an angel.
But Heather, growing up with Vardo's mom, you'd have it pays for itself because of how cool she is now. But Vardo used to wear a suit of armor playing road hockey.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we called her safety patrol. Everywhere I went in the neighborhood, I had to call and let her know I was changing location. I couldn't get on my bike without a helmet.
We were on Vardo's rink last year. He was wearing a helmet on the rink, like a bike helmet.
That's far.
Oh wow, that's horrible.
I had a hat on. She just made sure I was careful. And...
Safety hat.
Really, this is what we're talking about. Like Drover's just instigating right now for no reason, unprovoked by Kyle completely.
Yeah, it's like nobody here needs to know that Kyle wears a bike helmet on the rink when he goes on the ODR. Like nobody needs to know that he wears a bicycle helmet on the ODR. And Cody just brings up the fact that last or 2 Christmases ago he put a bicycle helmet on and went for a skate. Like you did not need to bring that up. Bike helmet on the ODR.
Hey, Bennett, Drover brought it up, but you're really selling that home and making sure it comes home.
Yeah, love it, buddy.
Yeah, I just got to let everybody know. And listen, nobody needed to know that he wears bicycle helmets on the ODR.
But Rios, to answer that question, all of our parents are the best parents.
Yeah, no,
they're saints.
Yeah, we've never been stuck, like, even growing up when we were like super young. We've never been stuck for like places to play spotlight or like rides to tournaments or like if we ever just wanted somewhere to hang out, like watch a movie or something. Our parents have always been awesome for us.
Yeah, all our parents are so cool.
Very fortunate.
We stayed out of trouble growing up, to be honest. Like, we were obviously idiots in our own way, but we were never hard cases to say.
Yeah, that's so true, Vardo.
So now, would you guys rather be the most popular kid in school or the smartest kid in school?
Mike was boy of the year at our school every year.
Mike's boy of the year at Grand Falls-Windsor. His name is all over the boy of the year trophy. So Mike was both.
How selfish was it that Mike was smart and popular?
Yeah, that
Like,
actually is
what a
super greedy.
loser move that was. The rest of us had to fight for one or the other. And I'll tell you one thing. Most of us didn't fight for the smarts. So
Honestly, see, for me, that question just simply boils down to whichever one of them plays more sports. Because high school sports was the best 3 years ever. There's nothing better than high school sports. So, like, if the popular dude was the one playing all the sports, I'm taking popular. But the smart one was the one playing sports, and I was taking the smart one.
In high school, popular for sure. I wish I was so smart in university. I wish I had like a sick degree, like making millions of dollars and not be popular at university. But high school, I'll give me popularity all day.
I was afraid of women until after I graduated, so I had to go for the smart thing.
You're making up for it now, buddy.
Still am. I've had some awful girlfriends, so.
We won't go there.
Let's hope none of them tune into this podcast to hear that comment.
Let's all tag them in the podcast when we share it.
I could have their own pod, honestly.
Yeah. Call her Kyle.
Dude, if we had to rank all the bad ones from a lot of us.
The bad one, too.
Oh, Christ, yeah.
That'd be a long pod.
All right, next question, girls.
Get us out of there.
I was naturally gonna do it, and then you guys just full on stated that. Let's move on, which is exactly what we're gonna do with. If you could ask the president, / I guess prime minister, one question, what's it gonna be?
When am I getting vaccinated?
Good question.
Give me my vaccine so I can get on a plane.
No, dude, if you can ask the president of the United States one question you get the answer to, like think about all the things that we wonder. I think I'd ask if there's aliens.
Area 51. Area 51, yep. Yeah. I'd ask him in Area 51.
I think,
yep, same.
Aliens, have they visited Earth? Because aliens.
Yeah, that's a good question. If I'd like to narrow it down to one question.
Earth.
Yeah.
I'd ask them who killed Kennedy. I bet they know.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
I think I'd go for something that's going to make me money. Like, I'm sure they know something that, like, in terms of, like, a booming stock business or, like, something good for inventions or whatnot.
That's a good... I've never thought of that, Grills. That's a great answer.
Well,
that's kind of like insider trading, though, isn't it? Isn't that, like, a federal crime?
Yeah.
It is mega illegal, but I feel like,
But, like, if you're asking the president, though.
Yeah, but then you also have... You could essentially... okay, what? They're going to arrest me for insider trading, and in order to arrest me for that, they also have to say that
to sell it the president of the United States. Yeah, retweet, Grills. Great call.
So
great call.
I would ask just how much of an exaggeration or like what actually goes into. People always talk about, like, when it comes to the president of the United States, they always talk about, like, oh, the nuclear button or the nuclear code.
Yep.
I always wanted to know, like, how easy is it for you as president, if it were ever to come down to, like, World War III, how fast, because there's no way there's just like a button you're like nuke, but how fast would you be able to deliver nuclear bombs to other countries? Like,
how fast can you press the nuclear button?
How fast can you get one of those puppies going? Yeah.
I feel like maybe if there was like a big red button, that would be sweet. But like,
that's what they portray on, like,
exactly, yeah, on The Simpsons.
I want to know how, like, is it like a 3-hour process? Can you actually submit the codes and have it done in like 5? Like, you would think it would have to be fairly swift if things really popped off. I don't know.
Well, I would assume like the other country is going to have enough time to recognize it and then fire some back before it gets. So there's got to be that allotted time period, wouldn't there be?
That's it. Oh man, you know what? We're really digging into that.
We are diving in. Yeah, it's just a massive rabbit hole.
Conspiracy podcast.
Hey, look through Trump's Twitter. It might be in there somewhere. Oh wait,
he probably tweeted it at some point.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, who knows? Okay, so here's a good one though, especially Droves. You mentioned there was a couple of alien comments there. So there's 5 of you in this call right now. If you had to leave Earth on a spaceship and take 4 friends, who would they be? But I guess this question dictates.
Are you kidding me right now?
Who are you leaving behind?
Wow.
Oh,
The question only had 4, so
oh my
Oh,
god.
this is sick.
So
We all
which-
have to answer it. We all have to answer it.
So basically, which one of us misses the cut?
You guys know I'm left for dead here. I mean,
No, wait. Is the world ending down here, or is it just that we're all going up?
I mean, the question says, if you had to leave Earth on a spaceship and take 4 friends with you, who would they be? So
The world is definitely
not
ending.
necessarily-
I have a logical answer to it, but I'm gonna wait to see who gets sold out.
This is insane.
It's not saying the Earth is ending. But
Okay,
there's somebody.
Okay, so Grills, if the Earth isn't ending, why do you have to take 4 people with you on a spaceship?
question.
All right, well, you know what? Sure thing. Then, yeah, the world is ending. Who are you? Who are you?
If the world is ending, does it change? If the world wasn't ending, I'd say Drover, you stay because
No. Do you know what? Here's my answer, and this is actually, yeah, I'm just gonna say it.
If you say yourself, then I'm gonna leave this call right now. If
No,
you
I
try
was
to
gonna-
be the hero, and be like, no, I'd let all the boys go. I'd stay down here by myself.
No, here's my answer, and he'll agree. I'm leaving Tyler, and the reason why I'm leaving Tyler is I think Tyler is the only one of us that could survive. I've seen that guy left for dead millions of times, and I just think it of all of us, Tyler would survive and adapt the best.
that is
And he has a zombie bunker in his basement.
Hey, what the bro? Ixnay on the Ambise. Come on, man. What the hell?
Yeah, but they don't know where it is.
Bro, it's not for zombies, it's for apocalypse.
Yeah,
I
well,
guess zombies is an apocalypse, though.
yeah, well, I'd like to call it a zombie bunker, and I bet you, Hughes, do you know where it is?
Man, you are making up so much shit. You've never heard the words zombie bunker come out of my mouth.
I don't care what you called it. I call it a zombie bunker. Hughes, do you know where it is?
Yes.
Bennett, do you know where it is?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, see?
Shows who I'm taking in the spaceship with me.
Bennett, who are you leaving behind?
now.
Just for that comment, Tyler.
Hughes, who are you leaving
I'm
behind?
taking the key to the zombie bunker too, just for that comment.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, see, now I feel bad for leaving Tyler behind. I'm literally with Tyler 9 hours a day.
What are the roles? But what are the roles we're gonna have to do when we leave Earth? I'm trying to think. We all have individual strengths and weaknesses, but when we leave this planet, what are we gonna have to do?
No, dude, just leave me because I have a wife and daughter here. I can't leave them. Just the 4 of us go up to space.
That's what I said at the beginning, and then you guys started throwing, the world is ending. The world. I was like, no, I have a logical solution. Cody, wife.
I would also think I'd be the most useless.
I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, no, I changed my answer, Cody. You're just chaotic.
Yeah.
I'll get you a mental pretzel, and I'll just break open a window or something.
Tyler, are you leaving Bennett or me after that comment?
I'd leave Bennett, but I'd leave him with the keys to the bunker because the bunker actually has a 50-inch TV in it and be the biggest.
That's it for me, guys.
I'm just gonna see myself out. Nice, Tyler. Verdo, who are you leaving behind?
I'm leaving Hughes behind because I don't think any zombie could survive in the shed. So I'll leave Hughes blasting tunes in the shed.
Oh, Hughes is not gonna like that.
Dude, I know I could survive a zombie apocalypse. I'm prepared.
Mike, let's just settle this. You could
Yeah, I know Hughes could.
I think he would fare better than me because he has more like physical life skills, like when it comes to making fires and being handy and stuff like that. I definitely do have a lot of kind of wits and smarts to be able to adapt to a situation, but I do not have the physical tools that Mike has.
Yeah, it's the certain times I'm thinking of where I've seen Tyler just do things on his own where I would mentally break down. Like, for example, being left on the subway by yourself in Toronto. Remember that, Tyler?
Yeah.
I would have.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tyler somehow showed up back at the hotel before we did.
But here's the thing: is sure, I can get myself to and from places safely, but have you ever
a
seen
zombie
me
apocalypse?
Slice bread? It's embarrassing. Have you ever seen me try to tie my shoes? It's embarrassing.
Oh yeah, I might have to retract my answer
Right. Like
based
I
on the
just
shoe
can't-
comment.
Yeah, like I just can't do things. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So, when you're a kid, there are times where you think that the world is ending and the sky is falling. For me, it was when I got suspended at Belleville Elementary School. I like those teachers made me believe that this was it. I wasn't going to get into university. I was done. So this 1 day suspension was the end of the line for Robert Greeley in grade 6. What's that moment for this friend group?
I think have we already had that moment? Or what would that moment be?
Yeah, what was that moment for you
I
guys?
think that moment was when me and Tyler were almost not friends. We mentioned before, when you said I had a bogey on a par hole.
Oh my God, get over yourself.
No, that 100% was I almost was not friends with Tyler after that. She was going to test for how mad I was.
Yeah, it was there was a lot of animosity on the, like I said, on the 10th tee box. The vibes were not good.
And for me and Varda was when we got in a wrestling match. We had dislocated shoulder. I didn't know if we were going to be friends after that.
I didn't remember any of it, so we're good.
Bennett almost happens every day with Bennett. We get him such a mental pretzel.
Sure. All right. I'm going to Best Buy and look for a TV now. It's cool.
Man, he didn't even mention the TV. What are you
It's in my head, Tyler. It's in my head.
Oh my. All right, you know what? I think we got to wrap this up.
Girls, how long have we been on this call?
We've been going just over 2 hours there now.
Oh, man.
Jeez. Are you going to put that all in the pod?
Feels
No,
like 15 minutes.
he edits the good stuff.
Unfortunately, I do not have time for that. So I more or less slap it on a timeline and let it
Right.
let it lie. It's more authentic.
Yeah,
said this
yeah,
boy.
I agree.
Just Greels is jack of all trades, master of all trades.
Yeah,
I don't think about that. I don't know.
I think you're right, Girls.
Listen, you know what? We can spend 10 minutes here boosting my ego. Keep the compliments flowing.
Yeah, Grail's we haven't quite hit 2 hours yet. If we could just, we got 8 more minutes for you guys to just absolutely pump the ego.
Alrighty, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for hopping on the SBI podcast. This is definitely one of the greatest friend groups that I've witnessed. This group of 5, and even just the collective group of the guys from Grand Falls-Windsor. It's why I wanted to invite you on, because I knew, for one, it's just honestly something to look at for a playbook for people who want to have a great friend group, for sure, 100%. And yeah, great group of guys.
Thanks for having us, Girls, buddy. And you're one of us too. You're in the mix, buddy.
Man, we got a small sample last year, but I cannot wait to just show Greels the ropes this summer, and some of the trouble we're gonna get that guy in.
Absolutely.
You better buckle up, Grills.
Thanks for having us, Greels, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I looked at the time then, Grills. I was like, holy, we've been chatting for a while, but it didn't feel like it. Feels like we're just sitting down, chatting, chilling.
Man, I mean, a look inside my brain, when we were at the hour 15 mark, I was kind of like, shit, we haven't even made any progress into what I want to get into.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was always gonna happen.
Yeah.
All right, guys, take care.
Thanks, buddy.
Peace.
Cheers.
All right, that's it for another week. This has been the Yes By Podcast, Newfoundland's #1 podcast, hosted by yours truly, Robert Greeley. In the meantime, stay best kind, guys.